YouTube, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to tell you about my May wrap-up and what's on my June TBR. I am in a new place, as you can see. I moved over the weekend and I finally got my bookshelf set up yesterday. So it's time to start filming videos again. I'm thinking about doing a bookshelf tour at some point whenever I have time to do that. So let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. So first off, let's get to my May wrap-up. I read 4 books in May. The first of which was The Crown by Kira Cass. This book just came out at the beginning of the month, and it is the 5th book in the Selection series. I'll be honest, as far as the Selection series goes, I really prefer the first 3 books, which is about one character, and then the last 2 books are kind of like a spin-off almost. I really like the first 3 books a lot more than I liked the last 2, and I was a little disappointed in this conclusion. I really don't like the main character of the last 2, Eglin, I'm not really sure how to say her name. I really don't like her. She's not a very good character, and I really don't feel like she grew a whole lot in the course of her 2 books. But it was still a good read, and it was definitely worth reading, and I ended up rating this 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I finally freaking finished reading was Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicle series. It took me forever to read this book. I started it back in March. And then April happened, and I had so much stuff going on at school that I just never got around to finishing it, and I finally finished this month. So excited. I really love the Lunar Chronicles. I can't wait to get the last book, Winter. I think this is probably my favorite one that I've read so far. It's a shame that it took me so long to read it. And this one, the character of Cress, her story is Rapunzel. For those of you that don't know, the Lunar Chronicles are kind of like sci-fi retellings of fairy tales, and all of them intertwine in a way, and all the old characters, their stories continue in each novel, and a new one is introduced. And this is the 3rd book, and Cress is Rapunzel. I ended up rating this book 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the first novel of the Sherlock Holmes series. I've been wanting to read the Sherlock Holmes stories for a while, and so I was excited to get kind of the complete novels and short stories recently. The first one was a little bit weird. It started off, and like the first half was kind of Sherlock and Watson, and then it went into the backstory of something. Maybe it did explain it and I just didn't catch it, but I was really confused for a while. But still, I also heard that the stories get better the further in you get, and so I ended up rating this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Also, sorry for all the background noise. My dogs are on my bed playing. And the last book that I read in May was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, or Moyes, I think. I'm not sure which one. I read this, of course, because the movie is coming out tomorrow, actually, and there's been a lot of hype behind it, and so I wanted to know what the big deal was. And I thought it was really, really good. I went into it expecting it to be more of a romance story, but honestly it really wasn't. The romance was just kind of a side plot. Me Before You follows Louisa Clark, who has recently lost her job that she's held for 6 years, and she ends up going to be a caretaker for Will, who is I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, a quadriplegic? I don't know if that's how you say it. Basically, it means he's paralyzed from the neck down from an accident where he was crossing the street and was hit by a motorcycle. It's pretty much a book about how they grow as friends. And I thought the story was really beautiful. I thought that the handicap aspects of it were handled really well. And I thought it was extremely well written. And I ended up giving this 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait to go see the movie. And now on to my June TBR. I may not necessarily stick to my TBR list, but these are the ones as of right now that I'm planning on reading this month. The first of which is Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This is kind of an in-between novel in the Lunar Chronicle series. This is book 3.5. And it is the backstory of Queen Lavanna, who is the villain of the series. I'm actually I don't have that much left. I'm on page 141 of like 220 something, so I don't have a whole lot left. And I will let you know what I think of it after I finish it. The next book I want to read this month is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I actually started this last year, and I just never pick it up and finish it. I always read something else instead, and I'm kind of tired of looking at it on my nightstand, and I want to get down to just be reading one book at a time, so I'm planning on trying to finish this month. It's not that I don't like it, there's just always something else that I'm reading instead, so I want to get this finished. I'm not very far into it, but I'm hoping to finish this soon. After that, I want to read A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the next book in, I don't know what the series is called, Shade of Magic or something. The first book is called A Darker Shade of Magic, and I read it last year. It is an adult fantasy series, and I really like it. This is actually the UK cover because I bought the first book whenever I was in London last summer, and then I ordered the second book from Book Depository so that way the covers would match. And I bought this around whenever it came out in I think March, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet, so I want to get around to that this month. And my last book on my June TBR is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, which is the first book in the Percy Jackson series. I recently bought all the books in the Percy Jackson series. I never read them as a kid. Pretty much everyone else I know has read them, and I just never did. And so I really want to start reading some of Rick Riordan's books, and so I'm going to start that this month. And that's it for my May wrap-up and June TBR. Let me know down in the comments what you're planning on reading this month, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!